Tonight, work begins on Hervey Bay's new city centre. A tax cut and more cash for Aussies. Plans revealed for a turtle rehab centre. And Australia Day celebrations start early in Bundaberg.
This is 7 News with Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Federal and local leaders attended today's groundbreaking ceremony for Hervey Bay's Library and Council Administration Centre. The new hub, worth more than $100 million, is a vote of confidence in Hervey Bay's revitalised future.
Shovels this morning turned over the soil in a growing region. The Hervey Bay Library and Council Centre is a $108 million undertaking.
Representing the federal government, we're really pleased that we can support this project with $40 million contribution as part of the Hinkler Regional Deal.
But its legacy is even more valuable. By mid-2026, this site will transform into a multi-purpose community hub, aiming to revive Hervey Bay's city centre.
The Fraser Coast has got one of the highest levels of literacy with our children, and that's the idea of this new library, so we can actually bring our community all together into the one facility.
It will also be an emergency headquarters in times of flood and fire.
There'll be the Disaster Resilience Centre. Everyone in Queensland understands how important that is.
And a place for relaxation and enjoyment.
It's an architecturally respectful building for the area, but will also be an enhancement to the region with a really great public plaza.
When you build a building like this, other businesses around the region look at it.
Wanting in on the Bay's success. Tom Duffy, 7 News.
The majority of taxpayers will see a little bump to their pay slips in the new financial year after the Commonwealth approved Stage 3 tax cut changes. It means anyone earning under $135,000 will pay less tax from July 1. But high-income workers will see a smaller tax cut than originally expected. The federal opposition slammed the government over the decision, calling it the mother of all broken promises.
There are a lot more millionaires in Sydney than there are in Queensland, and particularly in regional Queensland. And that means that Queenslanders, the overwhelming majority of Queenslanders, will be better off by this decision.
The changes still need to pass through Parliament before being implemented. A number of Bundaberg's residents got a head start on Australia Day celebrations this morning at Council's citizenship ceremony. While plenty of locals are looking forward to basking in green and gold, others are choosing to give the fanfare a miss.
Visitors to the Bundaberg multiplex pulled out all the patriotic stops.
Look, the community, families, individuals celebrating, becoming new citizens.
Expats from across the world united to celebrate their new Aussie citizenship.
It's friendliness like you don't experience anywhere else in the world.
And Australia was on top of the list and we done it.
Tomorrow's lineup is more of a personal choice.
Might be getting along with my friends.
While Bundaberg Council's holding its classic Aussie Day bash at Nielsen Park, some locals are opting out of the region's celebrations.
I don't this year because I believe that the day's creating a bit of a divide between people.
I really want to not celebrate it, you know. I'd rather write a song.
But nothing can stop Wayne Charles from embracing the true blue Aussie tradition.
I'm going to sit out the front. A couple of my sons will probably come around because I brew my own beer. But it's Australia Day every day when you're an Australian. So we drink every day.
Whatever you're up to, first responders are warning locals to prepare for any potential repercussions of Cyclone Kirrily, like flash flooding.
We want to enjoy that time, but be responsible, be prepared.
It gets a bit rowdy on Australia Day, doesn't it? So, yeah, just be safe.
Jamie Tenikoff, 7 News.
Disturbing vision has surfaced online of a baby being offered a vape in Hervey Bay. 7 News understands a 15-year-old girl was using the device before asking the 5-month-old infant if she wanted a turn and moving it closer to her mouth.
What we've been seeing across the state, across the country, is an increase of children and also adolescents vaping.
A Bundaberg inspector has confirmed no offence was committed. Turtles battered by storms and suffering mysterious diseases could soon be treated on the Fraser Coast instead of being transported to Australia Zoo. A new rehab centre will not only be aimed at improving turtle health, it will also be a major hub for research.
This new Hervey Bay initiative will ease Australia Zoo's load. The federal government has announced a $250,000 deal for the Fraser Coast Turtle Rehabilitation Centre.
This is something that's been really driven by the university, and I congratulate them for that.
Calls from researchers, volunteers and the Butchulla people to help seek and injured turtles have been answered.
The Butchulla people have been involved and invited as part of this process in relation to identifying and developing the Turtle Rehabilitation Centre.
This has taken quite some time to pull together, but now we're expecting to be able to launch the Turtle Rehabilitation and Research Centre at the beginning of next year.
A local centre dedicated to the marine reptiles will be a win for global research.
We're going to be seeing people from other regions of the world, experts both within Australia and internationally, coming to this regional location.
Council says protecting the endangered species doesn't just help the Great Sandy Marine Park.
Looking after the environment is about thinking globally and acting locally.
Tom Duffy, 7 News.
Health professionals are concerned excess screen time could be causing lifelong issues for kids. New research has revealed children are spending triple the amount of recommended time on devices, and parents are being warned to watch out for signs of eye strain.
Generation Alpha was born into the digital age where staring at a screen all day has become the new norm.
I have noticed that children are more distracted in class because they struggle to concentrate outside of technology.
A study by Specsavers has found children between 5 and 12 years old spend an average of 3.5 hours per day on devices, both at home and at school.
Technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, but we do definitely need to limit it.
90% of primary school teachers have reported witnessing eye strain in students.
A lot of the time kids don't know that there might be a problem with their vision, so they don't bring anything up.
The World Health Organization estimates more than half of the global population will be short-sighted by 2050 due to excess screen time.
Also socially, it affects them socially and their ability to make friends and have conversations with children.
Parents are being urged to practice screen safety by limiting up-close tasks, taking screen breaks and getting regular eye checks.
Because when they're detected early and they're treated earlier, there's better outcomes for the kids.
Tiani Reid, 7 News.
A new Qantas in-flight safety video has been slammed with claims it misses the mark and has more to do with destinations. The airline insists it's a clever way to encourage air travellers to pay attention about what to do during an emergency.
Hey, I'm Lachlan. I moved to Lapland to marry the love of my life.
It's the in-flight safety video that's not filmed inside an aircraft. Instead, passengers are reminded to buckle up by a sports car driver in Hollywood.
Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle.
How to use an oxygen mask. That takes place at Ningaloo Reef.
Oxygen will flow as you take a breath.
And the brace position is taught through a dance sequence in India.
Brace by placing your forehead on the back of the seat.
The Flight Attendants Association says the slick production misses the mark.
It doesn't focus enough on the really important safety message. Follow the directions of your cabin crew. They need people ready so that when an evacuation occurs, they get off the aircraft quickly and they follow their directions.
Qantas says it's designed to complement demonstrations by cabin crew. The video is about familiarising our customers with safety procedures, and we try to make it as engaging as possible. This is the first Qantas in-flight safety video in 4 years, commissioned by then CEO Alan Joyce. Rather than being more baggage for the former boss, some say it does a wonderful job.
What we've got here is something bright, it's a bit different, it highlights a whole lot of great destinations around the world and at the same time gives you a very sensible safety message.
Zoe Martin, 7 News.
Ahead tonight in 7 News, what's on around the Waibay this Australia Day weekend. And LNP concerns Swim Smart's missing the mark for local kids.
The Waibay turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues. And we want you to be part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. Curra residents are planning to launch an e-petition to call on the government to provide a secure electricity network. Locals have posted online claiming they face regular blackouts and brownouts over the last few months. The most recent incident this week was during a heat wave.
It is important for people who go into their homes in the middle of a heat wave, are able to turn on the air conditioning, are able to make sure their fridge keeps going.
But Regano Energy claims it's in the process of upgrading the network. In a statement, it says that will provide substantial improvements in power quality and reliability, and it should be complete by March. The member for Burnett has slammed Labor's Swim Start program for missing the mark by not catering to children of all ages. But Bundaberg MP Tom Smith says it's intended for Queensland's most vulnerable families, and there still are plenty of incentives for others.
The state government announced Swim Start in May last year, a program dedicated to helping kids access affordable swimming lessons. But Stephen Bennett says it doesn't hold water.
Unfortunately, that also came with the caveat that they had to be concession card holders or the family were under financial stress.
He's accusing Labor of cutting corners with its eligibility requirements, but the member for Bundaberg says Swim Start is intended for Queensland's most vulnerable.
We know that there are families out there doing it really tough where the parents may have a medical situation, where their guardian may actually be their grandparent as well.
But Mr Bennett insists learning to swim is a life-saving skill all kids should know.
What our concern is that the government clearly isn't listening to how important it is, particularly in a state like Queensland, where the kids of all ages have an opportunity to attend learn to swim classes.
Mr Smith insists the state government is aware every family across the Sunshine State wants the best for their kids.
Us as a Miles government are making sure that we have free kindy in Queensland, making sure that we do have our fair play vouchers, making sure that we do have our Swim Start vouchers as well.
Jamie Tenikoff, 7 News.
And now for a look at what's on around the region over the next few days, here's Melissa Davis.
Thanks, Joe. Here's a tasty way to kickstart the long weekend. Take a picnic blanket along to the Great Australian Bites experience at Nielsen Park in Bargara from 11 a.m. on Friday. Enjoy popular local food options, homegrown musicians and some good old-fashioned Aussie fun. Car buffs will love the Bling On show at Conrodder's Hot Rod and Customs Harvey Bay Australia Day Show and Shine Friday at Tyro's Royal Hotel. Highlights include live music, a bush poet, monster raffle and loads of giveaways. It's open to the public at 9 a.m. For a true blue Oz Day celebration, you can't go past the Harvey Bay Historical Village and Museum's Family Day this Friday. There'll be free tractor rides, rope making, blacksmithing, billy carts, displays and demos galore from 9:30 a.m. at the Zephyr Street Village. Burham Heads Bowls Club is the spot for barefoot bowls for all ages on Friday. Kids will love the undercover disco and outdoor games, and the whole family can get into the Australia Day spirit from 4:30 p.m. And if pigs could fly, the place to see it would be the Woodgate Beach Hotel's Pig Day Out this Saturday. A 5-race card, Calcutta, pig raffles, egg and spoon races, pie eating and best dressed competitions will make for a bonza day. The fun starts at 2 p.m. If you've got a special weekend event planned in your area, we'd love to know about it. Send the details to widebaywhatson@7.com.au. I'm Melissa Davis and I hope your Australia Day is a ripper.
All right, same to you. Thanks for that, Melissa. All right, sports up now with Nathan. A big sailing event's underway, Nate.
Yeah, Joe, it's the F18 Catamaran Aussie titles and there were gorgeous conditions for the opening day of racing. We'll have more on that next. And Harvey Bay's Xavier Metcalf reflects on his week with Queensland country at the South Australian titles.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
And welcome back. Well, Harvey Bay's Xavier Metcalf has returned from the South Australian Swimming Championships, where he competed for Queensland country. And while he didn't break any personal bests, Xavier still won several medals and learnt a lot.
When the Queensland Swimming Champs finished in December, Xavier Metcalf thought his next big meet would be Nationals in April. A month later, he found himself in a 400-metre freestyle heat, racing against one of his heroes, Kyle Chalmers.
He definitely threw me off a little bit. I was a little bit starstruck almost, because the first 50 of that race I went out way too fast.
He was selected in the Queensland country squad that were given the chance to compete in the South Australian Champs. It was Metcalf's first time competing in open races.
There are scenarios where you race people older than you, but you're still being ranked against your own age group, and that one it was like everything goes. So to make B finals was really big. They actually had a visitor rule there too. There was only allowed 3 visitors in every final, so you had to get top 3 essentially, which it was hard to do.
He was able to do just that in the 400 individual medley and ended up taking bronze.
I just did enough to make the A final from the morning swim, and then swam a little bit better in the final, so that's all I could ask for.
It wasn't just individual achievement. He also won second in the 4x100 medley relay and third in the 4x100 freestyle relay. And his coach is full of pride.
He put in a lot of effort last year to get selected onto that team, so I know that he was really happy to go along and experience some different coaches, a different team, a different group of swimmers, and travel.
Jack Lewis, 7 News.
Meanwhile, some of the nation's best sailors are in Hervey Bay for the Formula 18 Catamaran Australia titles, which began today. And with World Championship spots up for grabs, there's plenty to race for.
The Hervey Bay Sailing Club has hosted its share of Australian titles, and today they added the F-18 catamarans to their list.
They're fun, they're fast, they do about 45 k's an hour downwind.
Really excited here at Hervey Bay at the moment. We've got the largest single-class multi-hull regatta in Australia being held at Hervey Bay over the Australia Day long weekend. We've got 4 days of world-class racing with people travelling from all around the country.
The best in the country are in the Bay, with 10 teams hungry to qualify for Worlds.
There's some very, very good sailors over here, but we'll come over and give it a bit of a shot. I've done a little bit of sailing over in Europe as well too, and the calibre of the top level sailors here is very, very high, so looking forward to it.
And the organisers have worked hard to not just make it a big event for the competitors, but their families and spectators as well.
As the guys are coming off the water, we're going to have some music playing, some pizzas flying. We've got the bar in here, so people are going to be having some tasty beverages and just enjoying the beautiful scenes of Hervey Bay and just what it has to offer.
The titles will run all weekend till Sunday. Jack Lewis, 7 News.
Very nice conditions today, Joe. Got a feeling there might be a bit more wind for them over the long weekend, though. We'll see what happens.
A bit of rain?
Yeah,
well, we're just about to find
true.
out, because Livio will have all the weather details shortly. And Scotty Hillier has our fishing report as well.
Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Tropical cyclone Kirrily, now Category 3, is preparing to make landfall near Townsville in the next few hours. Severe heatwave conditions and locally heavy thunderstorms will return to southern and central Queensland for the weekend as Kirrily's weakening remnants move inland. Temperatures are creeping up again, and so is humidity, soon to reach the horrible levels of last Sunday, Monday. In Bundy and Hervey Bay, our top today was 32, Gayndah got to 36. Let's look first at the satellite loop. Now, Kirrily jumped up through 2 categories during today, starting with Category 2 this morning and now a severe tropical cyclone, Category 3. Its structure doesn't really look like a severe tropical cyclone, doesn't have the classic eye wall, but observations from Flinders Reef today above 140 km an hour gusts basically made us recalibrate, or the Bureau recalibrate their estimates, and there's a chance it may still continue to intensify. So this is today's chart. The Category 3 cyclone, even though this chart was drawn at 10 a.m, we've upgraded the CAT, is basically coming very, very close to the coast now, only a few hours away, going in a very straight path exactly as predicted. Unfortunately, about to bullseye cyclone, or certainly very close to it, as a Category 3 storm before it quickly weakens as it crosses the coast. On tomorrow's chart, there will be no cyclone anymore. The low will become absorbed in the monsoon trough. Lots of heavy rain out west. And on the outlook chart, we'll start getting those horribly humid northerly winds ahead of the inland trough, bringing heatwave conditions back to Queensland. Boating forecast for Hervey Bay waters, east to northeasterlies tomorrow, 15 to 20 knots, becoming northerly on Saturday, then north-northeasterlies on Sunday, less than 15 knots. Gowrie offshore, north-northeasterlies 15 to 20 knots all day tomorrow, with a 2-metre swell from the same direction, 15 to 20 knot northerlies for the weekend. We're smack on full moon tide tomorrow, which means maximum possible range between low and high water. The bigger of the 2 peaks will be late morning, the lesser at night. The Wide Bay Burnett, a heatwave warning persists with showers and inland thunderstorms. Bundaberg 25 to 32 degrees. Gympie also 32. Hervey Bay, Ed Maribor 32 as well. And looking ahead for Bundy, heatwave conditions returning again this weekend as horribly humid tropical air pours into Queensland post-cyclone. Nighttime temps will be particularly gross after storms, hopefully cooler next week. Please stay up to date with hourly advices. Hopefully tomorrow the worst will be over. Here's Scotty with the fishing report.
Yeah, good on you, Livio. Well, all eyes at the moment on tropical cyclone Kirrily, and as we know, they've got a mind of their own even after they cross the coast, so just keep an eye on that latest forecast before doing anything outdoors. As I mentioned earlier, it is tough to encourage fishing for the weekend with the uncertainty of the tropical cyclone Kirrily. So if you are in that area, just make sure you check that latest forecast before heading outdoors. Now, during the week, though, the rivers were fishing pretty good for a couple of good flathead. There were whiting along with grunter, all being caught on fresh strip baits along with live yabbies. And those mud crabs continue to be around in pretty good numbers as well. Now, plus for those kept indoors, it could be a good idea to go over all your barramundi gear with only a week to go until that season opens. Now check this out, young Isla Tom was proud as punch when she fished with her granddad and her old man Matt and caught this lovely finger mark on strip bait. Good on you, Isla. Now, if you are chasing more outdoor action, make sure you join me and the team Saturday 5:30 for Creek to Coast as we explore the Fraser Coast region, and I can tell you we get stuck into some monster dolphin fish. See you next week.
Great, thanks for that, Scotty. That's all from us for this Thursday. Thanks for your company. A reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on the 7 Plus app, or you can catch up on our page, 7news.com.au. From all of us here, have a fantastic evening and enjoy your long weekend. Good night.